So what did I really enjoy about Bodies, Bodies, Bodies? For one, this movie is really well paced. It's the pinnacle of time, which is 1 hour, 30 minutes, which I absolutely love for a movie. And within that runtime, it never goes too fast, too slow, and you're never really bored. It does a great job of introducing all the characters in the first act, building tension in the second act, and then cleaning everything up by the end of the third act. It's a nice steady cadence. It's not very jarring. It's extremely entertaining, and you're going to have a good time with it. And to my surprise, this movie is very well acted. This movie features a lot of very not so well known names, but all of them really shine in this film. And ironically enough, the name I probably knew the most, which was Maria Bakalova, who you might have seen in Borat's subsequent movie film, was probably my least favorite performance of the movie. I thought it was a little choppy at times, but still nonetheless, I thought it was good on the whole. And of course, we've got Pete Davidson, who is a pop culture icon. This is actually one of the first movies I've ever seen him act in, and he absolutely crushes it. Or at least he was much better in this movie than he was in his appearance in The Suicide Squad. Additionally, there are a ton of surprising moments of brilliance to be found here. Without giving away spoilers, the one moment in this movie that comes to mind is a scene where tension is building really, really rapidly, and these two characters are squaring off, and you could seriously cut the tension with a knife in the theater. These two actors are just performing off of each other so well, and it made for honestly the best part of the entire movie. It was extremely intense. I really bought into the fact that they were hating each other, and it had me on the edge of my seat. It was phenomenal, and I can't commend it enough. And part of the brilliance comes in some of the messages and ideas that the movie conveys, which brings me to my next point. There's some really intriguing thoughts here about the sensitivities of friendship and also the danger of making assumptions. This movie ends up having a conversation about really long-lasting friendships and wondering how quickly will your friends turn on you, how sensitive are those relationships, or moreover, how does your baggage end up shaping who you are? And considering how formulaic this movie looks on the surface, I thought that was a surprising and shocking detail that I really appreciated and elevated the experience in this movie for me. And additionally, there's the thoughts on the dangers of making assumptions about other people, which this movie explores actually in quite sufficient depth. Just this idea of when you're in danger and you want to get out of it as quickly as possible, what you're willing to do in order to make that happen was really fascinating, including making assumptions about other people, especially those that you might not know very well or know too well. And finally, there's surprising amount of relatability and humor and otherwise in this movie. There's one particular joke that will resonate with you, especially if you're a content creator, that you'll think, yeah, that's pretty funny. I'm keeping it vague to avoid spoilers. And I also found a surprising amount of relatability in the friendship dynamics that I've seen as I've grown up over time. This movie showcases how friendships can kind of grow and evolve or devolve, and what that really does to a person, or even changes in your friends' habits. I thought that this movie showcased that in a lot of ways. Like, I found myself picking out some characters and thinking, I know somebody like that. I know another person like that. It was surprisingly on the nose. It almost catches you off guard and sucks you in even more because you're like, wow, this is not really too far off from real life. Not all of you are going to be thinking that, but some of you just might.